Hello everyone, Klexyoshi here, proudly in support of Nintendo World Report's 8th annual Child's Play Telethon. I thought I'd make this video to kind of walk people through and help them out with the beginnings of La-Mulana, which is up for the special retroactive at the beginning of the show on December 2nd. There's a lot to unpack with this game, but there's a few things I thought I should go over that are essential here. For starters, this here is Elder Zelpud. In my opinion, he is the source of a lot of this game's humor, and you want to come back to him periodically because he has a ton of dialogue. Also, he just gave us ransomware. Like, it is literally spyware. So here's the menu. We just have our whip and our mobile Super X laptop. Here's the Zelpud mailer. We have a gigabyte of RAM to work with any apps that we might have on our laptop. This will just let us receive email from Elder Zelpud. We won't be reading any of this, but I suggest you do. And of course we have our options configuration here. But I'm going to disable the Zelpud mailer and get on with things. A lot of these tents here are shops, but the first and most important thing we want to buy here is the hand scanner. The hand scanner lets us examine objects. It also allows Lemeza to read, which is pretty funny. He cannot read without this hand scanner to tell him what he's reading. This pot here drops a weight. Weights are going to be very important because there's a lot of pressure-sensitive diases that need a weight in order to be activated. So they're kind of like our keys. This right here is the hot spring. It is incredibly important. It is the one place in the game where we will consistently be coming back to heal ourselves. So if you ever get low on life, find your way back to the surface and take a rest in the hot springs. It'll fully heal you. Generally, I just go this way for farming purposes. That green orb I just picked up is experience. Lemeza doesn't get stronger necessarily, but what experience does do is if you fill it up completely, you will fully refill your health. And that is your one way to refill your health when you are not in immediate access of the hot spring. There's some weird quirkiness to Lemeza's jumping. Let me just head over to the next screen to demonstrate that. So Lemeza has 3 different falling states. The first is if you get a running start and you jump. I can slow down my mid-air momentum, but I cannot stop. It's very Castlevania, Ghosts and Goblins style. We also, if we jump straight up, we don't move as fast, but we can change direction mid-air. So that's handy if you have a lower lip you have to get to or something, or want to do more precise platforming. And lastly, we have falling off the edge. If you fall off the edge, you will not be able to influence Lemeza's mid-air direction whatsoever. So keep this in mind, and keep in mind that traps will do things like try to drop the floor out from under you, so you can no longer control your mid-air ascent and descent. These are Grail tablets, marked by the little Grail symbol there. These are important because you hit down in front of them to save your game. We'll not be doing that just yet. Weights. I need them. Now, it's my personal suggestion that you skip going into the ruins just yet, because there's another very important item we can find up here, and an unimportant one. If we examine the skeleton with the hand scanner, he will give us a map that we can't read without software. At any rate, if you put a weight on this dais, it'll cause this chest to slightly open. Whip it and it will open all the way, and we'll receive the shell horn. The shell horn is an incredibly important item. It allows you to know when you have solved puzzles and when you have activated traps. You will hear the following tone when you solve a puzzle. Also, check your surroundings. You may find little hidden things like this piece of software here. It may not be immediately obvious what all software does, but it generally tends to all be handy in some sort of combination of loading it onto your laptop. If we whip this wall from this direction, it creates a shortcut back to the village and into the ruins. These sorts of blocks here can be pushed if we walk against them. Well, I mean, that's pretty foreboding. The ruins. I love this little fanfare here that I'm talking over. We can examine the skeletons that don't come to life, and they'll generally have something to say. But we start running into a big problem very quick here. So, the hand scanner lets us read English, but the problem is this ruin is filled with an ancient La-Mulana script. This actually can be manually translated, although that is an insane fool's errand, and I highly suggest against that. This right here is a sacred orb. There are 8 of these throughout the game. They increase Lemez's max HP and give him a refill. Here we have the Gein's Gates Grail tablet. Unfortunately, we really can't read that, but again, we can save here, which is good. I wanted to bring special attention to this room in particular. That has a clue to a puzzle. But this tablet right here says something about divine judgment and desecrating the ruins. Whenever you see this eye in a room, it is a pretty good idea to avoid, say, whipping the walls or such. Otherwise, shaboom, lightning. That does a lot of damage. You probably don't want to be taking lightning to the face. I mean, you died regardless, but you know what? I am a brave sort of person. So the shuriken here can be equipped. We use our hand scanner with X, and we can throw our shuriken as a ranged attack with A. Y is attack and B is jump. Also, it's worth noting that plus will take us to the menu, while minus will give us a pause screen where Lemeza eats a bowl of curry and passes out. That will be important in a little bit. Now, just as easily as the ruins has these puzzles to solve, it also has traps. I know, right? It's like you could have seen this thing's jaw popping off when you put a weight on the dais a million miles away. This room has a few puzzles, but the important thing to take away here, besides the bats are annoying and I hate them, is that this guy found an escape route. Pushing this block here will open the treasure chest to the single most important item in the whole game. I I think this will be the first of our items we acquire that, besides maybe the hand scanner, is absolutely 100% required to beat the game if I don't fall into holes. But we crack open this chest and, hey, we're already doing better than Donovan from the end of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Am I right, folks? The Grail is by far the single most important item that we could have found in these ruins. Unfortunately, I'm out of weights, so that treasure chest will have to wait. But if we hit the pause button and then hit the menu button, we'll be able to warp to any Grail tablets we've previously read. In addition, the Holy Grail will also allow us to quick save at any Grails that we've been to. So, one last thing before we finish up this basic little tour of La-Mulana is right here we have the glyph reader software. So, and the thing to the left of that is the map. But importantly, if we equip the glyph reader software, we can now read La-Mulanese. And here we are. Now you can see it translates it. Behind the gate of behold the gate of guidance. Death awaits those who disturb this land. Lovely. But yeah, that's 4 very essential items for your success here in the ruins, between the hand scanner, the glyph reader, the Holy Grail, and the shell horn. And I hope with these items in hand, you won't get truly stuck, and you'll be able to discover the joy and beauty of La-Mulana and the various ways it plays with your expectations as a Metroidvania, and its very non-linear sort of progression. There's a ton of stuff you can do once you get the Holy Grail. Technically, you can do it beforehand, but also there's a good chance that the ruins might just eat you, because once you start getting deeper, it gets very hard to get out without some of the movement upgrades or, you know, the Holy Grail. So, with that, I really hope you folks enjoy this game, and this is Klexyoshi signing out. Thank you very much for watching the video.